Good morning, ladies. Hope everybody's doing well. It's my Tuesday morning where I like to come on live and do a quick Facebook Live about a topic. And just so you know, these topics that I normally bring you are topics that I've worked on myself, that I've gone through and that I've dealt with and figured out how to bring some ease. So I wanted to bring this. Hello, Serena. Good to see you. Everybody, when you come on, just say hi. It's always good to see people live on here. So today what I want to talk about is expectations. And I've had to do a lot of work on expectations. I didn't realize I had so many expectations. And I think a lot of us, they kind of like hide and show up in different places. We don't even realize we are having them. And the main way we know we're having these expectations is because we feel let down, we feel frustrated, and we feel angry. And that's pretty much the telltale sign. So what an expectation is, like I actually, got you the definition, are beliefs that something will happen a certain way or someone should act or behave a certain way. So we put expectations, of course, on ourselves. We put expectations on the ones we love. We put them on situations. You can have an expectation about anything. And I'm not saying that all expectations are bad, but if they start leading you to feeling like super frustrated or a certain way, then you need to take a look at it. So I'm going to give you some examples of kind of some expectations that I had and like how I realized it and kind of how I got through them. But I want to start by telling you is the reason we have certain expectations normally is the way we were brought up, the way we see the world, like different situations that happened when we were younger. So we all come at these different situations with like different viewpoints. So the way that I was raised or the way that I see something happen could be very different than, my husband. And so that's kind of what brought this to me, is because I've been dealing with some women who it seems like them and their husbands have different ways of doing things and have brought up some expectations that sometimes we get really frustrated. And it's really just that we need to like sit down and like talk to that person and explain before all this happens and explain like where we come from and where they're coming from. So a huge expectation that I had, and I don't even know where it came from, was when my kids were born, I had an expectation of like what grandparents were supposed to be and what they were supposed to do and how they were supposed to help us, and that they were just supposed to be there when I needed them. And I just had this expectation of what I thought a grandparent should be. And so when I wasn't getting that help or that whatever, I got super frustrated and let down because I thought, oh my God, they're supposed to be this way. And my parents made it very clear, like, we've raised our kids, we love our grandkids, but we have our own lives. And once I was able to get over that initial, like, what I thought they were supposed to be and what I thought they were supposed to do, it was really my issue of how I was perceiving what they were supposed to be doing for me. And once I was able to give up that expectation and realize it, I think just realizing is a part of the problem. Once I realized it and I was able to give up that expectation of what I thought they were supposed to be doing for me and what I thought they were supposed to be, I was able to just enjoy whatever I got. Like, I literally was like, okay, this is, like, no expectations. And when I tell myself that, I say no expectations, I just go into something with just like whatever it is. And I usually end up having so much more fun and more joy and relax than when I do have these expectations. And so one other example I want to give you, because I know that's with like a person, but I want to give you like having expectations of a situation, was I had all these expectations of what I thought a vacation was supposed to look like and what it was supposed to be. And the way that my family vacation looked very different than the way my husband's family took vacations. And so I would take like a week off of work and we'd go on this family vacation with his family, and I would be frustrated. And it all had to do with me. It had nothing to do with what anybody else was doing. I was totally making this all about myself. I was let down. I was like frustrated because it wasn't the vacation that I was expecting it to be. And so of course, I did a lot of work around this and stuff like that. But now, anytime I go on a vacation, this is with his family or my family, this is with just in general, I say to myself, I'm like, go with absolutely no expectations. Like, if I go into it telling myself that, I have an amazing time. And I just kind of let it be what it's going to be. And it's different every time because our kids are at different ages and people are at different places. And it has made my life so much better. And so I just feel like, I think just being aware of it and doing some work and journaling around that will help you. But I also wanted to share something that came up to me as I was doing this work. I'm like, well, how do you hold people accountable? You know, I have certain expectations for my kids, and I want to hold them accountable to that. Like, how do you get over that type of expectation? And so I realized that you have to, like, kind of, you can have agreements with somebody. So what I did with one of my daughters, her and I were like this at each other, because she wasn't studying the way that I thought she was supposed to study. She studied on her floor and in her bed, and she waited till the last minute. And like, I was so frustrated with the way that I thought she was supposed to study, and she wasn't doing that, that I really had to kind of like sit down and say, okay, like, what can I do so that we're not constantly like this? And I realized the main goal was that she got the stuff done. The bottom line was she needed to get the work done. So I made an agreement with her. I said, listen, I'm not going to worry about how you do it. I'm not going to micromanage every little thing, because what she does is different than we're different people, as long as you get the work done. So that made me realize too, like, we can have expectations if maybe there's an agreement in place. So I think a lot of this is like talking, when I'm talking to clients and coaching people with dealing with their spouses, a lot of it is just sitting down and actually having that conversation with their spouse about like what you expect or what you think should happen, and then having them show them their point of view and maybe coming up with some agreement. I know this takes some like forethought and a little bit of like, you can't do this in the moment of something not happening the way you want, but if you can take an area of your life where you might be feeling a little bit frustrated or angry, and like really look at it and write down what your expectations are for that, and then maybe you can write that down and have a conversation with the other person beforehand and come to an agreement, you will notice that you don't have all this letdown and frustration to end with. So I'm not saying all expectations are bad, but they are bad when they start making you feel like shit and start making you feel let down all the time. So I just wanted to bring that quick excerpt to you, and I hope that helps a little bit clarify. Sometimes I want to make sure what I'm thinking is actually portrayed to you guys and that you're getting what I'm saying. So if you have any questions, drop it in the feed below. If you need help with anything specific that I can help you with, you can always get in touch with me. You can direct message me. You can go to my website, michellebigelman.com. I do free coaching session if you need to talk about something specific to you. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and let me know what your thoughts are on the whole expectation talk. Speak to you later. Bye.